Hello again. Chris Lee and Chase Robinson here to preview Auburn's trip to Missouri. Tigers on Tigers in the time slot formerly known as the Jefferson Pilot Special. You see this at 11 Central on ESPN. Well, this game has lost a little bit luster, but I think it's interesting. BetOnline has got Missouri as a 6-point favorite with an over-under of 52. That makes for an implied final score of Missouri 29, Auburn 23. My model's got Missouri off the rallying start here by about 10.5 points. Anyway, neither team feeling great about things. Auburn for just the bulk of the season from the Cal game on. Missouri just looked awful last time out against Texas A&M. I think there are better things in store for both teams. Be an interesting game here in Columbia, Chase.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't seen the potential of Auburn, and I feel like Missouri has just left a lot out there. And so this is a game where I feel like both teams are going to be trying to fight each other. Look, Auburn had a much-needed bye week, a week where they could just take a deep breath, regroup, work some things out offensively. And so I feel like Auburn really needed that, and Missouri had their trip to UMass this past week where they got a good win, were able to probably work on some things. But, this is an interesting game because I feel like Auburn has yet to do what I know that they can do, and I'm just waiting on them to do that. Could it be this week? We'll see. Columbia, Missouri is a tough place to play. But, I feel like it's two teams that Missouri still trying to figure them out to a point. They just did not look good against Texas A&M, and maybe it was just a bad game. And Auburn, we're still trying to figure out because this is not at all what Auburn should be doing at this point of the season.
Yeah, Missouri has played, according to Jeff Sagarin, the weakest schedule in the league so far. I think to me that feels like it's underselling it a little bit. The Vanderbilt game now a little tougher of a matchup, better win. Boston College is a decent team. A&M obviously a good team. But all that to say, when you hear these stats, keep that in mind. Auburn's offense averages 30 points even a game on 70 snaps, a turnover rate of 3.6%. By comparison, next worst turnover rate in the league is South Carolina at 2.8%. Auburn runs the ball 56% of the time. It averages 5.5 yards a run. It averages 8.5 yards per throw, which is actually third in the league. The problem is getting the throw off and not getting it picked for a total of 6.8 yards per pass play. Missouri's defense is giving up 15.3 points a game on just 55 snaps. That is an excellent number. 2.1% turnover rate. Teams will run it 56% of the time against Missouri. They get 4.2 yards per rushing play, 5.9 per passing play, 5.0 on the whole. I'm not going to make any proclamations about Missouri going up and smashing UMass. Having said that, they've got two running backs. You saw Nate Noel have a great game against Vandy. Carroll got more in the acting at UMass. Luther Burden, I think, scored a touchdown on the first offensive snap. Feels like he's been underutilized. They've really missed some deep shots at times this year. But this Auburn defense, I think, lost in the offensive and turnover carnage has been the fact the defense has been pretty good and kept them in a lot of games. I'm interested to see what we get here.
I am too. And look, Auburn, we know their issue has been turnovers this year. Other than that, I mean, they've got the offensive weapons as receivers. Keandre Lambert-Smith, Cam Coleman, just to name a couple that we know are playmakers. They've got Jarquez Hunter, who when Hugh Freeze spoke we're recording this on Monday afternoon, when Hugh Freeze spoke in his press conference this morning, he said, we've got to get number 27 the ball more. And he is 100% right. Number 27, Jarquez Hunter, has got to carry the ball more. And he does that. I mean, he's one of the best backs in the league. And so I think that's going to open up a lot more opportunities for Auburn if they can establish that ground game to go along with the pass game and getting this deep receiver room involved. This offense is going to look much different. But again, decision-making, turnovers has been a big issue that has plagued Auburn so far. But if you clean some of that up, look, we're talking about a different season so far for Auburn offensively.
Yeah, and one thing to watch, I'm not sure where things stand with the injury report on Monday, but Joseph Charleston, who was questionable for that UMass game, I saw him leaving the UMass game when I watched a little bit of that. So he's one of their better defenders and one of their key defensive backs. So keep an eye on that. All right, for Missouri offensively, here are the numbers for you. The Tigers are averaging 33.5 points a game on 72 snaps, turnover rate of just 0.5%. That ties Vanderbilt for the lowest in the league. Missouri runs it half the time exactly, 5.4 yards per running play, 6.6 per passing play, 6 flat on the total. Auburn's defense allowing 20.8 points a game on 68 snaps, 1% turnover rate. That's a problem. That's the lowest turnover rate in the league. Is Auburn's defense is getting. Teams run it 51% of the time against Auburn, 4 yards flat per rushing play, 6.1 per passing play, so 5.0 yards per snap, which is a very good number, one of the better ones in the league. Again, I feel like there's been some meat on the bone out there for Missouri between maybe an underutilization of Burden, Cook missing some big throws. I think nothing will get your attention like getting blown out followed by a bye week. So I'll be very interested to see. Well, you did see that. You saw it come out against UMass in the form of 45 points. But, that was a game Missouri could win in its sleep. I'm very interested to see how it goes when it plays against a more competitive defense like it's going to see.
Yeah, I mean, that had to be a wake-up call for Missouri offensively to really not be able to do anything against Texas A&M. Yeah, you mentioned getting some of these guys involved. Now, they got the good rushing attack there and really 3 good backs. And yeah, you want to see more from the receivers though. And Brady Cook has missed some big time throws. I don't think he's quite as sharp as he was last year. Not to say that he's not having a good year. I think he is, but he's not as sharp as what we saw last year. And that has been part of the problem. That was part of the problem against A&M. Like he wasn't hitting his throws. He wasn't on target. And so, that's something to watch going into this game. What is going to be the game plan for Auburn to keep him that way, to put some pressure on him? This is a game that I could see him making some big throws, getting some of these receivers, in the deep ball. Wouldn't surprise me at all. So I feel like that's something to watch for them offensively. And again, getting some of these receivers into it, but really just seeing Brady Cook play a little smoother, a little sharper for Missouri.
Yeah, one small concern from Missouri, 11 sacks allowed. And again, it's not been a world beater of a slate so far that they played, but I think they'll probably try to just go ball control. The thing that Auburn have to watch is they like to get Burden the ball on short, easy throws, and he can – next thing you know, he can go 60 yards on you with the ball in his hands. So that's going to be the thing to watch, I think, on that side.
Yeah, I would certainly agree. And, what can Auburn do to stop that? I mean, we've seen other teams get some big plays on them, but we've also seen Auburn really limit their opponents offensively for a time, and I think if Auburn can put a full game together defensively, this game could look much different.
All right, let's get picks and why, and we'll start with you.
I think this game could be close. It could be interesting. I think Missouri gets the win. I don't have enough confidence in Auburn yet to pick them in a game. They haven't won an SEC game yet this season. They've found ways to drop games. So until they show me otherwise, like, I'm going to have to pick Missouri. I think they will get some big plays on this defense. If they could force turnovers, that will definitely help Missouri in this game. But I'm just not sold on Auburn. Missouri's had their struggles, but I think they get this win at home.
Yeah, I feel like Missouri fell out of the public consciousness after just getting embarrassed at A&M. But every team can have a bad game. Do I have some trust issues with Missouri? Sure. I mean, they haven't really accomplished a lot so far other than beating Vanderbilt. But you also got some guys that did big things a year ago. I think you're right. I think Brady Cook is due to get more on track. Now, look, Auburn is also due to jump up and surprise somebody. And this could be Auburn's day. I wouldn't rule that out. But who do you trust more at this point? For me, it's Missouri, and I think it is you too.
Yep.
We'll have this one covered afterwards. Hit the subscribe button so you can see it, enable your notifications. We cover baseball, football, basketball year-round. Caroline.smith at Southeastern 14 for your advertising inquiries. We reach millions of people a year. For Chase Robinson, I'm Chris Lee. You're watching Southeastern 16 presented by BetOnline.